Caitlin Clark has had a private meeting with none other than the GOAT himself, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
The basketball world just exploded. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's biggest sensation and most polarizing
You know, I usually stay out of these conversations, but with Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore.
Star, has been caught in what might be the most shocking moment of her career. Leaked footage has surfaced, showing her training side by side with none other than Michael Jeffrey Jordan himself. Yes, you heard that right.
Caitlin Clark is in the vicinity at a private event with Michael Jordan. Now, it's hard to believe that they're not talking basketball. We know it has to do with basketball a little bit.
The greatest player to ever touch a basketball and the woman who's been tearing up the WNBA since day one were spotted together at a private, exclusive location, and the internet is absolutely losing its mind. Fans are in disbelief. Players are furious. And behind closed doors, WNBA executives are scrambling to control.
Now, we know if it's one person Caitlin Clark has been compared to her whole WNBA career, it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. There's so many celebrities.
Narrative that's spiraling wildly out of their grasp. This isn't just a casual celebrity encounter. This is a seismic shift that could redefine Caitlin Clark's entire future and possibly reshape the power structure of women's basketball forever. So how did this secret meeting even happen? What did Michael Jordan tell her behind closed doors?
Between the two, the injury, the hype, just everything, the assault that was taking place on the basketball court is eerie similar.
And why is the WNBA in full panic mode right now? Buckle up, because this story is about to get wild. Let's rewind to where this all began. For months now, Caitlin Clark has been compared to Michael Jordan. It's not just about the skill or the numbers, though those are undeniable. It's the way she plays.
So this is the actual event that Caitlin Clark attended before we get into why she went viral. But instead, it's Peak Inside Grove XX111, Michael Jordan's invite-only.
The swagger, the competitive fire that burns so hot it makes everyone around her uncomfortable. The way she's been targeted, fouled, and disrespected on the court, yet she keeps coming back stronger. It's eerily similar to what Jordan faced during his rise. The hype, the rivalry, the salt on the basketball court. Caitlin Clark has been walking in Michael's
club. Since pace on selection are a large part of why Michael Jordan loves the golf game. And however, the legendary NBA star is one of the most recognizable people on the planet.
Jordan's shadow since she stepped into the WNBA, whether she wanted to or not. And now, it seems, the legend himself has taken notice. It all started innocently enough, or so it seemed. A few blurry photos surfaced online from an exclusive golf club in Florida. The location? Grove 23, Michael Jordan's private sanctuary. At first, people didn't think much.
So Michael Jordan been had this golf course since 2019. The private golf course includes an 18-hole course, a main clubhouse, a gatehouse, a learning facility, and a practice range. There are even drones that deliver snacks.
Much of it. Just another celebrity sighting at a high-end country club. But then someone dropped a video clip that sent absolute shockwaves through social media. The footage showed Caitlin Clark walking the course alongside Michael Jordan, laughing, talking, and at one point, holding a basketball in her hands. The internet went nuclear. Within hours, hashtags
and beverages to members during the play. The member list includes who's who in celebrities and professional athletes who all have received personal invitations from Jordan. The 15,000 square feet. Wow.
Like Caitlin Clark times Michael Jordan and Jordan mentors Clark were trending worldwide. Fans couldn't wrap their heads around what they were seeing. Was this real? Was Caitlin actually training with the greatest of all time? Sports networks scrambled to verify the footage. Analysts paused the video frame by frame, zooming in on every detail.
So this was a photo that Caitlin Clark was pictured in with the kid. Had herself a day, played Grove XX111, met the best female hooper in the game.
They identified Jordan's signature sneakers. They spotted Caitlin's new Nike gear. TMZ stepped in and confirmed the location matched Jordan's invite-only golf compound, a place so exclusive that only billionaires and elite athletes ever get through the gates. The scene in the video looked casual enough, just two people enjoying a day on the course.
Caitlin Clark, she was serving Michael Jordan, bro. Wow. So this was the photo right here. That hat went viral last night.
But anyone paying attention could sense something deeper. There was mentorship in the air. There was focus. There was something much bigger brewing beneath the surface. Now, let's talk about Grove 23, because this isn't just any golf course. Michael Jordan has owned this private sanctuary since 2019, and it's designed to be his personal kingdom. We're talking about an 18-hole...
I know a lot of people are going to say Caitlin Clark should be training. She's with Michael Jordan. Like, it don't get no... Like, I know a lot of people thought Caitlin Clark should have did Unrivaled. Caitlin Clark should have did basketball. She's with Michael Jordan. She's with the... Like,
course. A massive clubhouse, a gatehouse, a state-of-the-art learning facility, and a practice range that rivals professional setups. But here's the kicker. They have drones that deliver snacks and drinks to members during play. This is next-level luxury, the kind of place where privacy meets power. The member list reads like a who's who of celebrities and professionals.
Like, there is no, no. I know everybody wants Caitlin to be with Chris Brinkley, Drew Hanley, and all these other damn trainers. She's with Michael Jordan.
Athletes. Tiger Woods, Derek Jeter, and every single one of them received a personal invitation from Michael Jordan himself. You don't just walk into Grove 23. You get chosen, and it's not just about exclusivity. Grove 23 has earned a reputation.
Bro, like, it don't get no... Do I need to say more? Do I need to say more? She's with MJ, bro.
It's one of the most competitive environments in sports. Members call it Slaughterhouse 23 because of how intense it gets. Jordan uses this place to test people's mental strength. Cameras line the fairways. Members talk about the pressure of simply keeping up with MJ's energy. For Caitlin Clark to be invited, there wasn't just a casual hangout. It was an initiation. This was Jordan's way of sizing her up, of seeing if she had the mindset worthy of his inner circle. And apparently, she passed the test. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This wasn't some random encounter. According to sources close to the situation, Michael Jordan personally invited Caitlin after following her entire rookie season. He was impressed by her mental toughness and her competitive edge. Eyewitnesses at Grove 23 claimed Caitlin wasn't just golfing. She was holding court. Between rounds, she and Jordan were seen at the practice range, laughing and gesturing like they were discussing footwork and shot rhythm. At one point, Caitlin reportedly demonstrated her signature step-back jumper, the same move that made her a legend at Iowa and carried her through her explosive WNBA rookie season. Jordan stood there, arms crossed, nodding with that classic look of approval that only true competitors recognize. One source described the moment as a passing of the torch. The basketball icon was meeting the player that many now call the female MJ. And for the first time in his career, Michael Jordan was publicly connecting himself to a female basketball player in this way. It hinted at something deeper, a mutual respect forged through an obsession with greatness. Meanwhile, back at WNBA headquarters in New York, executives were reportedly going into full crisis mode. They were blindsided. For months, the league had been carefully shaping Caitlin Clark's image, positioning her as the new face of the WNBA, but under their control. Now, that control was slipping through their fingers. The idea of Caitlin meeting with Michael Jordan away from cameras, away from league supervision, set off alarm bells at every level of management. This wasn't just a casual outing. It was a message. And Jordan is a man known for independence, for empire building, for disrupting entire industries. When he takes interest in someone, it's never for nothing. WNBA officials immediately called an emergency meeting to assess the situation. They were worried about potential brand conflicts between Caitlin's Nike endorsement and Jordan's growing personal empire. Behind the scenes, they feared a potential power shift, one that could give Caitlin Clark leverage the league simply wasn't prepared to handle. Agents and sponsors started circling like sharks. If Michael Jordan was mentoring Caitlin Clark, Brands like Gatorade, Hanes, and the Jordan brand itself might be looking to expand their reach into women's basketball without the WNBA's permission. Suddenly, Caitlin Clark wasn't just a player. She was an untouchable asset, someone whose fame and market power could surpass the very league that drafted her. Fans flooded comment sections across every platform, calling Jordan the real commissioner. Others mocked the league for not appreciating Caitlin's influence sooner. Even some retired players hinted that the WNBA's handling of her stardom had been too restrictive from the start. Inside the Indiana Fever's locker room, sources say players were stunned but not surprised. One teammate allegedly said, "Caitlin's always been bigger than the W. Now the world's just catching up." But not everyone was celebrating. Word of Caitlin's visit quickly spread across WNBA circles, and some players and coaches weren't happy about the attention it drew. Behind closed doors, whispers began. Was Caitlin trying to bypass the league hierarchy? Was Jordan planning something bigger, a business move that could shake the WNBA to its core? While the internet obsessed over the leaked footage, insiders claimed the real story unfolded far from the cameras. According to reports from those close to the event, Michael Jordan requested a private conversation with Caitlin Clark after their round of golf. Witnesses described it as intense but inspiring. The two sat for nearly an hour away from guests, talking about competition, leadership, and legacy. Whatever was said in that room reportedly left Caitlin visibly emotional, yet fired up. Sources close to Clark say Jordan spoke to her like a peer, not a rookie. He reportedly told her that greatness always comes with backlash, that public criticism is the price of being different. Those words hit hard for Caitlin, who spent months under constant scrutiny from referees, opposing players, and even media outlets framing her every move. Jordan allegedly reminded her that every icon, from Kobe Bryant to Serena Williams, had to go through fire before being celebrated. At one point, Jordan is rumored to have handed Caitlin a personalized Jordan brand basketball, not for show, but as a symbol. "Your era starts when you decide," he reportedly said. Whether that's literal or just part of the myth growing around this meeting, it's become a rallying cry among fans online. Caitlin left the clubhouse that day quieter than usual, escorted to her car by security. But those who know her best say something changed. She looked focused, almost like she'd been given permission to play without apology. What no one expected, however, was what came next. Within 24 hours, word spread that a new deal might be in the works, one that could tie Caitlin Clark directly to the Jordan brand itself. If true, that would send shockwaves through the entire WNBA ecosystem. Less than a day after the leaked footage went viral, whispers began flooding social media about a potential collaboration. At first, it sounded impossible. Jordan had never partnered directly with an active WNBA player under his personal label. But as screenshots of supposed email leaks and marketing drafts started surfacing, fans began to believe it might be real. Industry insiders confirmed that Nike executives were suddenly holding late-night meetings, trying to get ahead of the rumors before they spiraled out of control. If the deal existed, it would mark a historic shift. Caitlin Clark wouldn't just be another athlete under Nike's umbrella. She'd be entering the elite circle of those personally endorsed by Michael Jordan himself. That's a title shared by a select few global icons. For years, the Jordan brand has stayed relatively quiet in women's basketball. But Caitlin's cultural pull might have changed that overnight. Sports marketing analysts quickly broke it down. Caitlin's rookie year jersey sales shattered records. Her viewership numbers carried the entire WNBA season. She single-handedly made the Indiana Fever one of the most talked-about franchises in sports. A Jordan partnership would mean merging two of basketball's most influential names, one from the past, one defining the future. But that's exactly why the WNBA board reportedly panicked. League officials feared they were losing their grip on their biggest star's image. If Caitlin aligned directly with Jordan, it could create a separate power lane outside of their authority. Then came the moment that changed everything. A single image posted on an Instagram story. Caitlin Clark lacing up a prototype pair of shoes with a glowing Jumpman logo. The caption, "Work in silence." And that's when the sports world completely lost its mind. Within minutes, Caitlin times Jordan was trending worldwide. Fans flooded social media with wild theories. Some claimed she'd just become the first woman to get a signature Jordan line. Others insisted it was a power move to challenge the WNBA's leadership. Every sports outlet from ESPN to Bleacher Report ran with the story. Even NBA stars started weighing in, calling the moment historic. Behind all the excitement, a storm was quietly brewing inside the WNBA. Within 24 hours, several team executives called an emergency conference to discuss how to handle the PR explosion. While some believed the exposure would bring positive attention to women's basketball, others were furious that Caitlin was making moves outside league approval. There were whispers that certain veteran players felt disrespected, that Caitlin was getting opportunities others had never been given. One anonymous player reportedly said, "It's not the Caitlin Clark League." Meanwhile, Fever fans stood solidly behind their star. They saw it as validation for everything she'd endured, the fouls, the media hate, the constant pressure to prove herself. To them, this wasn't rebellion. It was elevation. She's doing what MJ would have done. One fan wrote, building her legacy on her own terms. As the media chaos reached its peak, Michael Jordan finally made a move that no one saw coming. Without saying a single word publicly, the official Jordan brand account quietly posted a black and white photo. Caitlin Clark holding a basketball under the caption, "Legacy recognizes legacy." There was no press release, no official statement, just that one line. Within minutes, it shattered the internet. Millions of views, thousands of reposts, and a tidal wave of reactions from fans, players, and analysts. Everyone knew what it meant. This was Jordan's silent stamp of approval. Behind the scenes, multiple reports confirmed that Jordan himself had personally reached out to Nike's executive board. The message was simple. She's the future. It was more than an endorsement. It was mentorship turning into movement. Sources close to the deal say Jordan plans to create a women's line inspired by Caitlin's style of play, combining grace, grit, and competitive fire. If true, this could reshape the entire basketball apparel industry. Fans dubbed her Air Clark, and memes flooded social media, showing her dunking beside Jordan's silhouette. The symbolism was undeniable. The old guard acknowledging the new. But insiders hinted that the story was far from over. A leaked document suggested that Jordan and Caitlin's collaboration might extend beyond branding, possibly into founding a training camp or academy for young female athletes. If that's true, this partnership isn't just rewriting basketball history. It's rewriting who gets to control it. In the days following Jordan's silent announcement, the WNBA found itself standing at a crossroads. League officials tried to spin the story as a positive step for women's basketball. But behind closed doors, there was fear. Fear that Caitlin Clark had outgrown the system faster than anyone anticipated. For the first time, the WNBA wasn't in charge of the narrative. The world wasn't talking about their upcoming games or playoff race. They were talking about her, about Jordan, and about the new power dynamic that had just been born. Endorsement experts began calling it the Clark effect. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games doubled overnight. Jordan brand merchandise featuring her silhouette sold out in hours. Sports economists even predicted that if the partnership officially launches, it could inject millions into women's basketball without a single dollar coming from the WNBA's central office. Suddenly, every brand wanted a piece of her. Inside the locker rooms, players were divided. Some saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime win for female athletes, proof that their work was finally being valued at the same level as NBA stars. Others saw it as dangerous, fearing it would create a superstar hierarchy that could divide teams and alienate veterans who had fought for equality long before Caitlin arrived. For her part, Caitlin stayed silent. No interviews, no comments, just training. Her Instagram bio quietly updated to include one new line. Built, not bought. Fans took it as a message that she wasn't just chasing fame, but building something lasting, something Jordan clearly saw in her. Meanwhile, rumors swirled that a documentary team had been filming her journey, capturing every step from the draft to this very moment. If that footage ever drops, it could reveal what really happened at Grove 23 and what Jordan told her that day. One thing is clear. The WNBA will never be the same again. Caitlin Clark's secret meeting with Michael Jordan started as a leaked clip, but ended as a cultural earthquake. What seemed like a private training session became the spark that exposed the WNBA's fragile control, ignited fan wars, and redefined what power looks like in women's sports. Whether this partnership grows into a full-blown legacy or remains an untold story, one thing is undeniable. Caitlin Clark has stepped into a new realm of greatness. And if history repeats itself, like Jordan before her, she won't just play the game. She'll change it forever